Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. Vamos a empezar ya, perdón. Okay, you ready? Okay, it's 7:08 and let's get started. Roll call.
Mr. Calvo is absent. Ms. Garcia Robles.
Present.
Ms. Pacheco is absent. Ms. Perez is also absent. Mr. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Tunidor.
Here.
Mr. Zogby.
Here.
Mr. President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Thank you. Invocation led by the city clerk.
Lord, we ask that you bless this meeting with guidance and grace. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance led by Councilman Zogby.
Thank you. Please face the flag and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, very good. Meeting guidelines.
The following guidelines have been established by the city council. All lobbyists must register with the city clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the council chamber. Any person, whether participating via the web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the city council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the city council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page. Members of the public may hear the meeting live through telephonic conferencing using any telephone or cellular phone service. A smart device or computer are not necessary to participate in the meeting if you join by phone. All persons participating via the web platform will be muted during the meeting until called upon to be heard. Participation through Zoom requires a computer or smart mobile device with a microphone and web camera. The participant may elect to participate in the meeting using audio only or appear through both audio and video. The video function of all participants appearing through video will be turned off until called upon to be heard.
Let the record reflect, Councilwoman Perez is present. Okay, no presentations, comments and questions?
There is one presentation.
There is a
sir.
presentation? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I didn't see it here.
No, it's not on the agenda.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. President, kind of like a late thing, but we're honored here today because we're amongst champions. And there's a soccer group out here that went and represented the city of Hialeah and won the Western Championship, right? Western. So they went up north, not way north, but they went up north and they brought home the title. And we have something that we want to present to them. And so I'll ask all of you to please join me down in the well so that we can present the champions a token of our appreciation, okay?
All right, let's go.
Hola, mi nombre es Josmani Peláez, soy el presidente del club de acá de Hialeah City. Les quiero agradecer, alcalde, principalmente por estar brindándoles ese certificado a estos nenes que son la nueva generación de nosotros y espero que no sea el último. Gracias.
Council. So I know all of us have talked a lot about our all the sports activities in the city of Hialeah, our parks programs, and there is a really nice menu of options for our kids to be able to play in our parks. I know it's a commitment that each and every one of you have made to make sure that our park programs are robust and have access to all our residents. And so anytime we get kids from Hialeah go and compete and win. It's something worthy to celebrate. And so we're honored in each and every one of these kids. There's a big debate going on, though. I'm going to tell you right now, big debate, and only they have the answer to it. I'm going to ask them, so just be ready. This is getting a little controversial, apparently. Okay? So one last time, guys. Messi or Ronaldo? Got it. Come on up so you can receive this.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Announcements of amendments?
There's none, sir.
All right, board appointments.
Comments and questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Any comments and questions? Any comments in the chamber? Any comments online?
None online, no one registered, sir.
All righty, moving on over to announcements of amendments.
None, sir.
All right, board appointments.
Item 9A, proposed resolution reappointing Robert Williams III to the Board of Trustees of the Employees General Retirement System as the trustee elected from the membership by a majority vote by the current trustees of the Employees General Retirement System for a 2-year term beginning on March 13th, 2024, and ending on March 12th, 2026.
All right,
Do we have to motion that?
Yes,
do you have a
sir.
motion?
Motion.
For El Bobby.
Motion by Zogby, second by Rodriguez.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumnido?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Item B.
Proposed resolution reappointing David Fernandez to the Board of Trustees of the Employees General Retirement System as the management appointment for a 2-year term beginning on March 13th, 2024, and ending on March 12th, 2026.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Motion by the Vice President.
Second.
We have a second by Rodriguez.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumnido?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby? Mr.
Yes,
Zogby?
yes, yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
All right, consent agenda. We have a motion.
Motion.
We have a motion by the Vice President, a second by Rodriguez.
Ms. Garcia Robes?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumnido?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed.
All right, no administrative items. Do we have any unfinished business? Do we have any new business? Do we have any new business? Anyone?
Bye, everybody.
Do you have anyone online that has any new business?
I think this is a record.
All righty.
I think you.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate you. All right. Moving on to zoning.
Will all those persons who will be testifying on an item, please stand and raise your right hand?
Las personas que quisieran prestar sus opiniones delante de esta junta, por favor, pónganse de pie y alcen la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. If so, say I do.
Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y únicamente la verdad y que Dios sea su testigo. Por favor, diga que sí si la respuesta es afirmativa.
Let the record reflect that all have responded in the affirmative.
En el archivo público constará que todos han respondido afirmativamente.
Sir, for the record, I just wanted to announce that item PZ10 requires a supermajority and there are only 5 council members present. Therefore, it would need to be a unanimous vote to override the denial of the Planning and Zoning Board.
Understood. Thank you. All right, PZ1.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow an elementary school to operate on property zoned R1, one family district, granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-181, to allow a K through 5 grade elementary school on a freestanding campus setting property with a maximum capacity of 71 students in conjunction with a daycare with a capacity of 169 children, and granting a variance permit to allow an 8-foot wall in height where 6 feet is the maximum allowed on residential zoned property. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-2121 subsection B23, property located at 21 East 59th Street, Hialeah zoned R1, one family district legally described herein, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Caesar. So for this item, after speaking with staff, let's go ahead and let's table this until we get a traffic study. I don't believe we have the most recent traffic study. Let's get that before we can move forward on this. Okay, so can I get a motion to table until the
Motion.
traffic study? We have a motion by the Vice President. And we have a second by Zogby.
Second.
Should we just say it's tabled until they have the traffic?
Yeah,
study?
that's what I said. Yeah. It's tabled until we get the traffic study.
I just, it will have to be renoticed if you don't announce a time and date certain
Yeah.
Absolutely.
by the applicant. Okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't announce a date certain because I don't know how long it's going to take, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Cesar Mestre offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street. Back in April of 2021, we did have a traffic statement that was done. I realize that that's outdated at this point.
Mhm.
Would it be possible to have that updated instead of starting from scratch? And I'm looking at Deborah because I know
Yeah.
she's reviewed it.
That traffic study was done for another project, so what I will offer to you, I will talk to our consultant and I will ask him to provide a methodology, so you don't waste that time.
Okay.
And he will tell you exactly what he needs.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Caesar. Call the roll.
Thank you. So that's.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumnior,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes,
Motion carries. The item is tabled until the applicant provides the city with a traffic study.
Thank you. PZ2.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R3 multiple family district to R35 multiple family district, granting a variance permit to allow 44 additional units having a rear setback of 7.58 feet for the north buildings and 7.91 feet for the south buildings where 20 feet are required, and to allow 127 parking spaces where 333 parking spaces are required. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-591 and 98-2189, subsection 19C. 1200, 1205, 1265, and 1280 West 25th Place, including vacated portion of West 25th Place right-of-way, Hialeah legally described herein, zoned R3 multiple family district, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. This item's in second reading. Do we have any public comments in the chamber? Do we have any online? Name and address, sir.
Hugo Arza, 701 Brickell Avenue.
Perfect. Thank you. Hugo, I know we spoke about this last time. Any changes that we need to know? of?
Yes, so I don't, I can walk you through it. It's very simple. We went ahead and revised the site plan so that we are now providing one parking space for every unit, plus the additional ADA handicap spaces. So every unit will have one space. We were able to work the site plan to
Got it.
include that. And there's no longer a declaration of restrictions because there's no need to commit
Right.
us to anything beyond that. So
Perfect.
I can show
Thank
you
you.
some pictures that you saw last time, or I can answer questions, but I thank you all for your time.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Hugo, is that one parking per unit on the new?
For every
units?
every unit in
Even the old
yeah,
existing
yes, every
units?
unit, the total of 144, including the new ones that are being added, excuse me, 148. Every unit will have one parking space.
The new ones are all one bedroom.
Everything is one bedroom,
Everything.
existing and. new.
I know that, I know the other ones are and the new ones are as well.
Exactly. It'll all be one bedrooms.
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. What's the motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Vice President, second by Zogby.
Ms. Perez, Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you all. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. PZ three.
First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1, one family district to R2, 1 and 2 family residential district. Granting a variance permit to allow the construction of a new duplex on a substandard lot having a lot width of 60 feet where 75 feet are required, and allow a street side setback of 8.9 feet where 15 feet is the minimum required. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-546. Property located at 800 East 19th Street, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for a severability clause and providing for an effective date.
All right. This item is in first reading. Hey, real quick, I just have some questions. Just one really. Name and address?
Manny Rose Architect, 18501 Pines Boulevard, Suite 342.
Perfect. Manny, this is on Lejeune, right?
Yes, sir. She has the presentation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you don't mind.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna distribute them.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah, one after the other.
Is it the same thing? Hugh?
No.
Or, I mean,
No, this is for later.
oh, it's
That's
right
the second one.
Yeah.
PC4.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
Don't confuse us with the facts.
Mr. Tonidor, you had a question?
Well, I'll let you start and then I'll ask.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Basically, this is a modern two-story duplex that we're doing on 800 East 19th Street. And basically, we're requesting the variances as displayed by the young lady. And we're doing something different in the area, and it's going to be a spectacular duplex. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Manny and Deborah, by any chance, have you spoken to Manny about what we're trying to do with the affordable and workforce housing program regarding the prototypes? Have you, by any chance, because I only bring it up because I know Manny does a lot of these duplexes.
I don't know if I didn't mention it
No.
directly to him, yes.
Okay. Can you just kind of explain it so that the council?
The idea that we are trying to work out, because with the master plan, we are looking at the different typologies in the city. So there are areas like those apartments that are one floor, they have 4 units and 4 parking spaces backing out into the street. We are thinking on creating a prototype where you can, the prototype would be plans pre-approved with more than 4 units, probably 7 units, depending what it fits. And we will create an area where you can use that prototype. You won't need to come for a land use amendment, for rezoning, and the plans will be approved. So the person, the owner of that apartment building will come and will say, okay, I will do prototype A. And they save a lot of time by not having to come here and to do different things. And to our advantage, we are going to get a new product, more apartments, and some of the units will need to be affordable at less than 80% AMA, no
Yeah.
workforce. From the 7 units, maybe 2 units. So we are making an analysis, and we have found material that is being done in other parts of the country. And what they do is like the same thing. They designate an area and they have several prototypes. So there are many developers that are already very enthusiastic about this, and they are willing to do the first project and then donate it to the city. For the architects, the way the prototypes work is that they design one time, and every time that the design is used, they get paid. No,
Right.
it's not that you rob them the design and then.
Right. So the idea, and I just bring that up because that's going to be part of the more comprehensive, affordable task force that we're doing, or the program that we're doing. And so I see, I know that you do a lot of these types of smaller, you do other things too, but I've seen a lot of these from you, and I think it makes sense. Correct. Yeah.
Expressing her wishes.
Yeah.
I know that I count with money because many times he offered me if we want him to be in a board or something of that sort, and maybe one of the developers will get a project done by him, and then that will be one
Yeah.
of the prototypes. We'll have several
Yeah,
different architects.
Absolutely. So Manny, for our next task force meeting, I mean, let's invite him so that you can come, and then it'd be great to get some insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any council discussion?
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Mandy, were you as scared as I was when he said affordable housing? You thought he was going to ask for one of these units? He's like, wait a minute, it's a duplex, people. It's a beautiful,
I saw his
beautiful
face. I saw his
project.
face. Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. All right. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Zaghi, second by Vice President.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. PZ4.
First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1, one family district to R2, 1 and 2 family residential district, granting a variance permit to allow the construction of a new duplex on a substandard lot having a total area of 6,750 square feet, where 7,500 square feet are required. Allow a lot width of 50 feet where 75 feet are required, and allow a street side setback of 8 feet where 15 feet is the minimum required. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-544 and 98-546. Property located at 1480 West First Avenue, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
All right. It's a nice project. Do we have any
Good
council
evening.
discussion?
Yes, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
Manny Rose Architect, 18501 Pines Boulevard. We are very excited about this little project because it's creating a specific, unique design where you can enter the units on opposite ends and parking on opposite ends. This is something we believe as architects spectacular. My wife has a lot to do with it, of course. She runs the office and she's spectacular. And we're doing something it's down the street here, guys. It's gonna get built and it's gonna be beautiful, guarantee you. Something different.
So there's going to be, you said that there's going to be entrance through the
Entrance on First Avenue and entrance on
15th
15th
Street.
Street. Yes, sir.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. And they all have their privacy. They're not bunched back to back, entrance, no front to front. We couldn't do this on the other project because it fronts Lejeune Road. And dealing with DOT on Lejeune Road is the biggest. I hope there's no DOT people.
Yeah, they're right back there. No, I'm kidding.
But anyways,
Yeah.
this is a prototype that we want to establish in corner lots that are not DOT. And this is something spectacular. And Deborah, of course, agrees with us.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Motion.
We have a motion by the Vice President. We have a second by Rodriguez.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. PZ5.
First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1, one family district to R3, multiple family district, Granting a conditional use permit to allow a K through 12 grade church school with a maximum capacity of 205 students in conjunction with a 100 children daycare and a 9,240 square feet church. And granting a variance permit to allow 39 parking spaces where 279 parking spaces are required, 231 for the church and 48 for the school. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-2189, subsection 9, property located at 5559 Palm Avenue, Hialeah, zoned R11 Family District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
All right, so this item is in first reading, not open for public comments in first reading. Name and address, sir.
Octavio Santurio, architect, 6262 Southwest 40th Street, Suite 3, South Miami, Florida. I'm here today representing my client, who is a church. And unfortunately, Pastor Quevedo could not be here today. This is a reorganization of an existing school, existing back since 1953. So it's been sitting there in the property described, and it runs well. We have the capacity of the children in there. So we're not asking for any larger capacity than the required one or the one that's existing there. And we humbly request approval of this application. And just to bring you up to date on the items that were imposed by zoning as far as removing a trailer that's there, it's done. There was a violation of some sidewalks, it's done. They're working on the landscaping, preparing a plan for landscaping on 55th Street. And the other item that was there, it's I believe is the swell we said, and the temporary trailers, landscape, the banners. There were some banners there that they were removed.
Octavio, all right, so walk me, and I'm sorry, walk me through this because there's another one of these applications down the road from you.
Okay.
So, all right, so how many students do you have now?
305 total.
You have 305. All right. And that's daycare and students?
Yes, 205 daycare and 100 elementary,
And then 100 elementary.
from K to 12.
K through what?
12.
K through 12.
I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. Yes, yes. The daycare correctly. It's 100 is a daycare and 205 is the elementary and middle school.
All right, so 100 daycare and then 200 school. All right, and so then what is the ask?
The same amount of children, it's just reorganized, keeping 100 on the daycare and keeping 205 on the elementary for the amount of that they're licensed for. They're licensed for 305
Oh,
children.
because that's what you already have. You're just here trying to get
Exactly.
the permit, the
Exactly.
special use permit. Okay, and then and so are you looking to expand
No,
or
none whatsoever, no whatsoever.
like I'm talking about the building, the infrastructure?
No,
No,
it
that's what it
houses,
is? Yeah,
it
that's what it is?
houses the students, yeah.
Okay, and that's I see it here, but it's a standalone building, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Sounds good. Any council discussion?
Yeah,
Motion.
Mr. Chair, sorry.
Oh.
You guys- No, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
So this is the current church.
Yes, it is.
With the building, you're talking about the school, where the playground.
Asbury.
Asbury.
Yes,
Got it.
exactly.
So why the rezonification?
Because they're not allowed a school on the previous zoning that they have, so they have to change the zoning to an R3.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Gotcha. Okay, I'm good.
The thing is that they were.
Please just give your name and title.
They were storage planning and zoning director. The site was built with a church in 1960 and has been a daycare since 1989. But we never knew that it was a school. So
Like all
now
the other
that,
schools that we're dealing with now.
now that we are reorganizing, they need the CUP to be able to legalize the school.
Actually, through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Just as an FYI, Deborah, I'm gonna bring it up. I did walk the neighborhood and there was a lot of complaints from the neighborhood as far as the cars are parking in the side of 56th Street. Actually, it's a very loud voice. There were parking and different, we can talk about it and we can come together because I don't have a problem. The school has been there forever. But there is a current complaint of the neighborhood on 56th Street. There's a little entrance of a private area there that people are parking there.
Yeah.
Off of the street. So,
Yeah.
and we were the neighbor, we've been there before. Oh,
Mhm.
excuse me, I was there and I know you were there before.
Well, maybe what we can request is some, one of the conditions, and I did, not to, well, for the flow, we said provide for including a proper vehicular traffic flow, but it will be good to have like two staff members, one on each end, to make sure, because sometimes the parking is there, but the parents are always in a rush and they don't take the time to go inside, so they prefer to go on the street, so then they spend time parking and parking. So maybe what we should ask is two staff members to take care of the pickup and the drop off.
Or, yeah, because I know with the church in front, across the street, I mean, I saw those walls fixed up on that.
Right.
Is the gate on the other side on 55th, I know is it closed all the time?
We are asking him for him to open it.
Yes.
All right.
We
Got it.
have a
Now,
flow. I don't know. I didn't have that in chart. So do you have the plans here?
Yes.
Let's see.
And I also see, are they planning to like, fix the area, the fence area, because I know the whole neighborhood, that whole area.
We took the banners out. That really looked, very, not very sightly. So we were doing.
Yeah, in the plans, they are showing here how they will have the flow inside. They are opening, so you can enter on East 55. No, they are entering on 56 and then exit on East 55.
Okay, all right. So Deborah, your suggestion may have the staff conducting parking areas.
Yes,
in the
yes,
future.
organizing the traffic, yes.
Okay.
You're recommending that as a condition, just to be clear?
Yes, one more condition here, yes,
Okay.
We're
Staff
gonna put
member.
we're gonna put that on the declaration of restrictions?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through the chair? Yes, sir.
You're licensed for 205 students, 100 daycare kids. Where are you at now? What are you at? Where are you at? I remember Asbury, in its heyday, it was fantastic. What do you have now as far as population, your kids? Are you up to the number?
305, yes.
You have 305
Yes.
currently?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that, because that's a good school.
Yeah,
Glad
it
to
is.
hear that. Yeah, so I was literally grew up in the 70 East, so yeah, it was a very thriving school. So gotcha. Okay.
Perfect. All right,
Motion?
we have a motion by Rodriguez.
Second.
We have a second by Zogby.
Okay, okay, and we'll talk.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robis,
Yes.
Ms. Perez, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Tumidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
And again, let the record reflect that it was approved with that condition. on the
Right,
DOR.
approve with the condition about the
The safety, the staff.
two staff members monitoring drop off and pick up to the school and the gate being open on 55th.
Thank you.
Correctly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Octavio. PZ 6.
First reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow 48 parking spaces where 93 parking spaces are required for 6 businesses, including commercial uses and automotive uses, including 8 bays out of the 25 bays included in the exiting warehouse industrial property. In contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-2189, subsection 15, property located at 6500, 6520, and 6540 West 20th Avenue, Hialeah, zoned M1 Industrial District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
All right, this item's in first reading, no public comments, any council discussion? Do we have a motion? We have a motion by Zogby. Do we have a second? Second by Perez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Garcia Robis,
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
All right, PZ 7.
First reading of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-181, to allow a K-1 grade elementary school with a maximum capacity of 30 students in conjunction with a 62 children daycare property located at 5480 Palm Avenue, Hialeah, Zone C2, liberal retail commercial district and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
All right. So this item's in first reading, not open for public comments. Name and address, sir.
Cesar Magistrate, office is at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida.
Perfect. Hey, Caesar, do you mind just kind of giving us a high level?
Absolutely. With me today is Kristen Soto. She's the owner of the school. I've got a small PowerPoint presentation I'd like to use to explain it to you. It's a small school. I can tell you that our application for the CUP was for 30 students, but based on staff's recommendation and the parking that's available, they recommended that it be reduced to 25 students. It's only K and first grade. That's it. This is a shopping center that's located at 5480 Palm Avenue. Next slide. It covers the entire block from 55th Street to 53rd Street, I believe it is. Next slide. If you can go to slide number 4. Okay, this is the side of the school. This is on 55th Street. We have some assigned parking there. You see there's 2 signs. These parking spaces are only for the school usage. The other slide. This is the east side of the school. It's got entrances on the north and entrances on the east side. And here we also have 4 parking spaces that are only for the school use, not for anybody else in the shopping center. So based on those reserved spots, staff recommended approval. Your P and Z board recommended approval. The conditions are that we have to apply and get approval for the change of use in 90 days. We've reduced by agreement the 25 limit of the students. I can tell you that this school's been, the daycare's been in operation since 2015, and they added the school grades back in 2018. So we're not asking to expand, we're actually reducing, and we're asking for a approval of the CUP.
Thank you. Do we have any council discussion? Motion. Motion by Zogby,
Second.
second by Vice President.
Ms. Garcia Robes,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tundidor,
No.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
Thank you. PZ8.
Palm Avenue está caliente.
First reading of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-181, to allow a K-1 grade school with a maximum capacity of 14 students in conjunction with a 38 children daycare property located at 4556 West 12th Avenue, Hialeah, zoned C1 Restricted Retail Commercial District and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, this item's in first reading. No council discussion. Name and address, sir, please.
Cesar Magistrate, office is at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida.
Perfect. Mr. Messer, do you mind just giving us another high level?
Absolutely. I have another small presentation. This is a shopping center that is located at West 45th Street and 12th Avenue. It's a relatively large one. You can show slide number 2. Then go to 3. This is the shopping center, and the red circle shows where the school daycare is located. It's actually on the corner. I think that's why they called it the learning corner. Go to slide number 4. This one too has assigned parking spaces in the shopping center. Next slide, number 5, shows you a different angle of the parking spaces that are reserved for this school. And again, this one is a very small little school that we're asking for approval. It's only kindergarten and first grade, and it's only 14 students that attend here. Again, this one has been in existence for quite some time. There's 8 spaces dedicated specifically for this school. You have a recommendation of approval from staff, and you have a recommendation of approval from planning and zoning. So we respectfully ask for a vote of approval.
Thank you, sir. Any council discussion? We have a motion. Motion by the Vice President. We have a second? Second. Second by Zogby.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
No.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
Thank you, sir. PZ nine.
First reading of proposed ordinance approving a final plat of West Buena Vista 2, accepting all dedication of avenues, streets, roads, or other public ways, together with all existing and future planting of trees, shrubbery, and fire hydrants. Property located at 1251 Southeast 8th Court, Hialeah, Florida, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, this is PZ nine. This is in first reading. No public comments. Do we have any council discussion? Wait, all right. Deborah, what is this? You go my first second?
This is a lot in the southeast area that they already came before you. They changed the land use. They are going to redevelop. And since it was subdivided by meets and bounds, now they went and they replatted the property. It's
Okay.
like a formality.
Got it. Thank you so much. Any council discussion?
Oh, motion.
We have a motion by Zogby, second by the Vice President.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robes.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for March 26, 2024.
All right, PZ ten.
Recommendation of denial by the Planning and Zoning Board for the issuance of a special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District overlay. Variance permit to allow residential use only where mixed use is required. Allow 40% of the units with an area less than 850 square feet, where 850 square feet is a minimum required, and only 10% of the units can have an area of 600 square feet. Allow 337 parking spaces where 459 parking spaces are required. Allow front setback of 16.83 feet where 10 feet built to line are required. Allow street side setback of 131.25 feet where 10 feet built to line are required respectively. Allow surface parking facing front and street side setbacks where parking is not allowed in front and street side setbacks. And variance to waive the building mass and building frontage development standards for property located at 11205 West 40th Avenue, Hialeah zoned BDH Business Development District.
All right, thank you. So is this open for public comments? All right. Oh, okay. Do we have any public comments? Any in the chamber, any online?
None online, sir.
All righty. Name and address, sir?
Cesar Mestre, law office at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida.
Perfect, thank you. Go ahead.
As you were told, we
If
are
I may,
here-
if I may, just sorry, procedurally, did you hear the vote requirement earlier?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just gonna say it. Yeah, as you heard, this is here on a denial, so we need a 5 vote in order to overturn that. What I'd like to do is make a small presentation and get a feel for what the pleasure of the council is regarding this project.
Yeah.
It's something totally unorthodox, but I'd like to just explain it real quickly and see where we are. Slide presentation, if you can go to slide number 2. This is a lot that is out on Hialeah Heights. The area of the warehouses that are located out there, the big warehouses. If you see this slide, it's a very long and narrow lot. It wasn't like this at the beginning. It was actually, now it's 5 acres. It used to be 8 acres. This is important because of the ask that the owners are doing. The owners dedicated a right of way to the south, which took away part of the land. And they also have a water reservoir on the property, which prevents building on that. Because of those two things, it's been very difficult for the owner to try to develop this as a warehouse, which is what's called for in the area. So they're trying to do multifamily homes in the area, which would bring apartments and families to this area. Our reasoning for justifying that is that, the next slide. If you see where we're located, it's the red rectangle up there. Directly to the south, you have some major big warehouses out there. You have Target Distribution Center, MD Turbines, I believe it's Home Depot. You have Boeing headquarters. There's a lot of big warehouses out there that can offer employment opportunities to the residents. So based on the area that the client bought, the 8 acres, and based on the need for housing in South Florida, they were proposing or are proposing a building that is 8 stories, 204 units. You can go to the next slide. Next one. These are just some of the companies that are located in the area. Next one. These are some of the Google ads that are out there showing that these are relatively high-paying jobs that are being offered in this area. And the reasoning for putting apartments right next to the warehouses would be to help with the traffic. So you can go to slide number 8. One of the things that we heard at P&Z was that this area is not supposed to be for multifamily homes, multifamily apartments. Here I show you in the red circles other multifamily apartments that have been approved that I've been involved with. And there's other ones that are a little further east that we didn't put on there. But you can see that in the area, there is other approved multifamily units. Next slide. This is what it looks like. As I said, it's an 8-story. It has 83 one-bedroom apartments, 107 two-bedroom apartments, 14 three-bedroom apartments. Has amenities like a pool, large deck, a luxurious lobby, yoga, spinning room, club room, cyber cafe, package room. The parking spaces for the 204 units, we have 337 spaces. So there's one for each one bedroom, and there's 2 for every 2 bedroom. So, and if you can go to slide number 12, just an aerial showing you the water retention area that's required and where the building would lie. So what I wanted to do is use this opportunity to get a feel for the council's desire to, number one, have multifamily located in this area or only have warehouses in the area. Obviously, the multifamily, we would propose the same proposal that we have. But if you are open to having multifamily, we can work with staff to see if there's something more amenable, more, would pass the your palate test to see if we can get it. So that is the presentation, and I would just like to hear what the desire of the council is regarding multifamily at this location.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
The one thing off the bat, it's beautiful, beautiful. I get the denial. It's a beautiful project. One thing I like about it, aside from the fact that it's beautiful, as direct access on 102, which is going to take traffic away from 97, which is just such a problem. This one, right, from 84th Street, it appears that way. It doesn't on the map. I'm going blind on the aerials. Wow, it doesn't, huh?
Can I tell you something? There are already 2,102 multifamily units in that area built on the Bonterra and on the other side next to the shopping center.
Oh, no.
This area was annexed to the city in 2003 with the aim to provide a space to have updated industrial buildings because many in the city are outdated. So, and the neighborhood business district was not created for here. This is a master plan area. All that quadrant should stay industrial, and the MBD was designated to promote redevelopment in other areas of the city. And you're talking about the traffic. These people, the only way they can move is with cars, and they are not providing, they are asking for a variance to provide 337 parking spaces where 459 parking spaces are required. Here, there is no other way to move than to use a car. Apart from that, all the businesses around are operating 24/7. So we will be receiving calls from the police about the noise from these neighbors. Well, they are the ones that want to be in a place that is not suitable for residential. Plus that height of the building, 8 stories, the maximum that is there is on Emerald Bay all the way to the south, that is 5 stories, because all the other ones, the ones that are east of 97th Avenue, the highest one is 3 stories. So this is incompatible with the area, inconsistent with what is there, and there is no need for more market rate or workforce house apartments, because they are already 2,102.
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
I agree. To my motion. Yeah. I agree with him.
Okay, so, and then just to clarify something that Deborah had mentioned, I think the whole purpose, and not just in this area, but throughout all of Hialeah, right, is not just development, but strategic development, right? Because as long as it flows, as long as it makes sense, as long as you're not setting some type of precedence, I think those are all things that we got to keep in mind. You know, this particular area just doesn't check a lot of those boxes, right? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
I would
Well,
have to
are we-
do the
are we-
chair.
Are we doing it today or we're gonna?
I think he just wanted to feel. for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah, so,
Yeah,
So I just wanted to
yeah.
say where I'm at. I just wanted to say where I'm at. I would have to agree. I don't think that this project with the comprehensive plan that we've been going through fits that model. I'm not comfortable with expanding more. I think we've kind of topped out in that area with what we have thus far. And we just, I don't think for the flow, what we've been hearing with our 911, you know, with the tower that we're gonna be building there, with fire, with police, I just don't think it fits the area. So I wouldn't be supporting the item. I'm sorry.
No, and I think Caesar, you know, maybe something that fits in that area is industrial, right? Some warehouses or, you know, I think whatever we can do to work with staff to figure out how much more we can get out of that property, specific to industrial, a little more compatible to that area. Go ahead, Deborah.
Yeah, it's true that they won't be able, because of the reduced size of the lot, they won't be able to build the type of warehouses that are there, but there's also a need for small warehouses.
Right.
All those warehouses that are being displaced on 16th Avenue, where they are coming with the MBD because they need to renovate the area, this is the place for these warehouses.
Right.
I think I have the feel of the council. So we'll go ahead and table it for now. I'll
Okay.
talk to my client and we'll decide what.
So let's move to table it indefinitely, right?
Motion to table.
All right, motion by VP.
Second.
We have a second by Perez.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. Garcia Robis.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is tabled indefinitely.
Okay, no final decisions. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Congratulations, record.